So then I went on new query. Where's my book? I wrote it. Please, I'm coming. Hold on.
Now, what did you do when you got to new query?
Hold the line. Hold on for me, please.
Okay.
Yeah. When I got to new query, I wanted to run you know where we are when we did calculate the monthly pay.
Mm-hmm.
So I started with the where was it again? The select pay element ID, select person ID, pay type, pay value over 12 as monthly salary.
Okay. And it didn't work for you, right?
Pardon?
It didn't work for you?
No, it didn't.
Okay. You know why it didn't work for you?
No, but I selected all when I finished typing before executing.
You said, and did you get that table?
No, I didn't get that.
Which database did you use?
I used the what was it here again? There was, is it work something?
AdventureWorks, you mean?
AdventureWorks, yeah.
Okay. Can you write that query again? Let me see.
Okay. So from here I typed select pay underscore element. Excuse me. Awesome, can I have water, please? ID, comma, person, ID. Pay type. Thank you.
Did you write this from the notes I sent to you, or was this done in the class?
This you sent a note, but in the class while we were teaching, I'm writing this down.
Okay, so was I the one who wrote this one myself?
Yeah, I think you also in your notes.
It wasn't you who wrote this one, right?
No, I wrote this, but it's something with the one you gave us, which I have a
What I mean is that whilst you were sharing your screen, you never wrote this query, did you?
No.
Okay. So I know straight away what the issue is.
Okay.
Who can tell us what the issue is?
Hi, Godwin.
Yep.
On her data, she's got master. She hasn't selected AdventureWorks.
Okay, I know that, but even that is not the reason. That is even not the reason.
Select from where? The element ID. Let's see.
Could it be from here? I didn't select the data. There's something to click here to select among system database or work adventure.
No. Don't do anything under system database.
Okay.
Don't do anything under under database. Don't do anything under master. Don't do anything under database snapshots. You only deal with the database. You see the icon for AdventureWorks?
Yeah.
Those are the only databases you need to work with. If it hasn't got that icon, you don't work with it. Okay? So the reason is that you haven't got the database that I use for this particular query.
Okay. So yeah, Because I was using Work Adventure, but you used something else.
Yeah, I use a different database.
Oh, it makes sense now.
Yeah. So it's not like you did anything wrong. Now open AdventureWorks. Let me see if we can pick a table from AdventureWorks. And we can write the same query. Open it up. Let me see if there is anything there we can use. Open up tables. So what was that query about? Select. Was that where we did the calculation?
Yes, I calculated the monthly pay.
Let me see if there is anything about pay under AdventureWorks. Scroll down a bit. Let me see. No, up. No, it's okay. You've left Adventure. You are leaving that table now.
No, I thought what we did, it was the.
Okay. First, let's do this one. Let's do this. Select the AdventureWorks database. Click back into your and okay, that's fine. So remove the queries that you have typed. Remove the attributes you have typed. No, don't close that one. Don't close it. Remove the attributes, pay elements, ID, etc. Remove those ones. So do select all from dim account. I just want to see whether it's under dim account. Select all from dim accounts. Just double click on that there, yep. And run the query, execute. Let's see what you have there.
Oh, this one came out.
Scroll to your right. Let's see if you have anything we can work with.
It earns an employee key.
Okay, so it hasn't got it hasn't got anything that we can do calculations on. Okay, so let's see if we can do calculations on. Scroll down a bit on the left. Let me see.
Here.
Yeah. Select, okay. Remove dim account and put fact internet sales. Is there second here? Just click on it. No, fact internet sales. You've clicked fact internet sales reason. Fact internet sales.
Shall I select?
Run it and see. It's the only query there, so you just execute. You don't need to select.
Okay.
Now scroll to the left. Let's see if there is anything we can do calculations on. Unit price. Hold not too fast. Extended amount. Unit price discounts. Discount amount. Scroll to the right. Standard product costs, total product costs. Yeah, so we can actually do calculations on this, can't we?
Okay.
We can do calculations on this.
Okay.
So if, for example, we want to find Scroll to the right, let me see. Oh, sorry, to the left. Let me see the product. Products key. Sales order number, customer key. Okay, let's see. Let's just see something, right? Select all from this where customer key is. Where let's do the first one where customer key is 21768. No, just type where customer key. Under that, just type where customer key. Customer key is equal to is equal to 21768. Okay, run this. Let's see. Okay, so this person bought 2 items. Okay, so we can, for example, say, okay, what is the total items? What is the total value of items that this person bought? How do you think we will get that? Scroll to the right. Let's see what we have there. Sales amount. Okay, we want sales amount. We can get sales amount. Yeah. Who can tell us how if we want the total sales amount for this customer? How do you think we can get that? What query can we write? What query can we write? This is simple mathematics, isn't it? So it's first plus second, but how can we write it in an SQL language so that the system will do the calculation for us? Anybody?
Should we
Pardon? Go on.
Should we say select all from customer sales where amount is something? Amount is the amount written there for sales.
Why?
I'm just asking, I don't know.
No, you have to give a reason why you make a statement, isn't it? That's why I asked you why. It's not like I'm criticizing. I want to see the reasoning behind your statement.
Okay. The reason is if we could say, oh gosh, I'm going back to repeating myself. Just to ascertain the cost price of what was sold or what this customer bought. I don't know. I've modeled it up now.
Okay. I'm going to give you this as an assignment, but let me just throw some light on this. Go back to your left. So in this particular instance, we don't need to do a select all. We just need to select a number of attributes. Okay. What are the attributes you think we need to select here? We definitely need to select sales order number.
Okay.
We definitely need to select the customer key because we want that particular customer. Okay, we want everything that that customer has bought.
Okay.
And we want to select, go to your right.
Unit price?
Not so much unit price. We don't want to do, we only want to do an addition. If we were going to do a multiplication, then yeah, we'll say unit price times price of quantity purchased, right? But we just want to work with the total product costs. So total product cost, we need that field. And then what do we do?
Total product.
Once we've selected all those fields, we can again, you know where we did alias. We can add up these two. We can add up, we can use an alias in the query to generate a concatenated. Did we do concatenations?
No.
Okay, let's leave this. Let's leave this for now. When we do concatenations, we'll come back to it. Okay?
Okay.
Right.
So I can stop sharing.
Okay. Now, if you want to share, you can still share and be our 𝐂𝐎𝐍𝐶𝐄𝐓.
All right.
But let me see. Where did we stop again? Okay, so we're going to range condition. Let me just do that one.
We'll stop at compound comparison condition.
We stopped at compound comparison condition. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So you just stop sharing. Let me quickly share and then we can make it, we can go fast on that.
Okay.
We've spent almost 30 minutes already. So let me share. Bam, 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 bam. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Let me open another query tab. So we going on to 4.2, okay? 4.2 range. Now, what do you understand by range condition? When you say something is a range, I think we did that. We spoke about range. The last meeting, I gave you a brief definition of what these things are, didn't I? So when there is a range, basically what it means is that we have two endpoints. And anything within those two endpoints fall within that range. So assuming I have 1 to 100, anything between 1 and 100 falls within the range of what? 1 to 100. Do we get that? So here, just from what I've said, I've used a keyword. Who can tell us what that keyword is?
Within.
I would rather you use something different. Between and, it falls between and not between. So these are the keywords for range conditions. Between and not between. These are the keywords. So for example, if we say we should select all from, let's say, Fact Finance. Let's use the AdventureWorks database. Adventure. My database is still misbehaving today again. Why? Okay, no problem. Yeah, it's misbehaving again today.
Well, I can help you share if you want to, if you don't mind.
I don't know if I think maybe I've run low on again on space. You know how your IntelliSense gets these things to come up automatically. So if it doesn't, since it's not coming up, I know straight away that something is wrong. But let me see. Let's see. Let's see if if it would allow me to run this query. If it does, that's fine. Fact Finance. Let me see if it would allow me run this query. Okay. At least it has allowed me to do that. So this is what we have in this database, right? So let's, for example, assume that we want to select, okay, let's say we want a range between where,
Please, I need help with something.
yes, what do you need help with?
I've clicked something on my laptop, on my desktop. I don't know what I'm seeing now.
You've clicked what?
I've clicked something on my desktop and it's now showing something else I can't interpret.
Okay, share your screen, let's see.
I want to close this and
You want to close what?
I wanted to close it, then start on a new page.
Yeah, click new query up.
Then what you have by the side here, I don't have it again.
It's because you have taken it off.
Can it come back?
There's nothing wrong with, yeah, you can go back. Go to your tools. Let's see. Let's see if we can bring that back. Go to your options. Let's see. Let's see again. Let me see where that is. Scroll down a bit. Let's see. Oh, click on the arrow beside SQL Server Object Explorer. Let's see what is under that. No, not that one. Okay, so close that. Close that back. Click it back. Go up a bit. Let's see. Up, up.
What if I close this thing?
That's another option. You can just close and reopen.
Okay.
But I just want to see if we can find it through. Okay, click on view. Let me see.
There's two boxes here.
No, click on other windows. Let me see. Go down to other windows. Let's see. Go to your. It wouldn't be command window. Okay, click on command window. Let's see. I doubt if it will be command window. Yeah, it's not command window. Okay, just close it and reopen.
Thank you.
I'll find out where that thing is and then let you know at the next lesson, okay?
All right.
You don't have to close to reopen to get it back. But I have forgotten where it is. I think you clicked on this. Oh, you can't see my screen now. Let me share. So can you see my screen?
Yeah.
What happened is that you clicked on this.
Yeah.
Yeah? You clicked on the object to you close the object explorer. So we need to find out where the object explorer is. And then we just open it again. Let me see where it is. Object explorer. Yeah, I think this is it. So maybe you see where the object explorer is?
Yeah. F8.
Yeah, so F8. I think you can even just type F8 and then it should come up.
Yeah, I've opened a new page and it's
Okay.
Thank you.
Has it come up?
Yes.
Okay. So for example, if we want amount between, let's say, 75,000 this is like 7 million, isn't it? No, this is 700,000. Okay, so 750,000 and amount between 750,000 and let's say 1 million. Did I get that? 110 of 1 million. Yeah. So if we run this, we would get those values between that. So everything under this output is between 750,000 and 1 million. And you can check that to see, to make sure. We can also
75.
use the not between. The not between, obviously, as you would know, would give the opposite of this, wouldn't it? The not between would give the opposite of what we have here. So if you look, we have 112 rows. Let's first of all see how many rows there are in this particular table. There are 3,330 rows. Can you see that? If you run that on your server, you should see that. Who got that?
I'm not there yet.
I did.
Okay. Anybody? Okay, so you got
3,330,
right?
rows, yes.
But if we pardon?
Yes.
Yeah, if we do this, if we add this to it, you will see that that comes to 112 rows. Correct? Did you get that too?
Where amount between 7,000.
And so if we now run this one, how many rows do you think we should have?
More.
But how many?
330 minus 112.
Exactly. 330 minus 112. Let's do that and see whether we will get that.
I'm getting error message.
You shouldn't.
I did that select from fact finance where amount between 75 million and 100 million. Then I ran it.
There is nothing like 75 million. There's 750,000. So if you are getting an error, maybe you are outside the range. You are outside the range of values.
I got 3,218 rows.
Exactly. You should get 3,200 and that is the rest.
Yeah, that is 750,000 and 100,000.
Are you still getting an error?
Yeah.
Emilia, 1 million, not 100,000.
1 million and 1 million, not 100,000.
Okay. Execute. Same.
You still getting an error?
Yes.
Okay, share your screen. Who can tell us where the error is?
You see the small letters?
No. SQL is case insensitive.
Okay.
Who can tell us where the error is?
Fact finance.
Come on, guys. You should know this by now.
Yeah.
What is she doing wrong?
Sorry, I think she still got her master file.
She's still in a completely different database.
Yeah.
You're in a completely different database. So now run it and see. Did you get it?
From the first one, yeah, I got 112 rows.
Exactly. So you see, it works.
Okay.
It depends on the database that you chose. So you were not using the correct database. Mind you, it is databases. You are querying databases. You are querying tables within a database. So if you choose the wrong database, you will get the wrong result or no result at all, which is what happened in this particular instance. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, let's continue. Any questions so far?
No.
Okay. Let's now get on to what is called set membership.
We can't see your screen yet.
Oh, sorry. Let me go share my screen. Can I just ask, is this helpful at all to anyone?
Yeah.
Are you guys getting it? Is it I don't want to just be talking and then no people are not getting what I'm talking about. So
We're getting it.
okay, cool. Set membership. Set membership is kind of like between and in between, between and not between, but there is a slight difference. There is a slight difference in the sense that whereas this one, we give a range of values, whereas in between and in between, we have a range of values. In set membership, we have like a group, and it's dependent on whether someone belongs to that group or not. So it's based on whether somebody is in a group or not in a group. Is what I'm saying making sense? So for example, let's assume that Emilia, let me create some trouble here. Emilia, are you Igbo or Yoruba?
I'm Igbo.
Okay, and I want to create some trouble. Please, that's, let me see, let me choose somebody. Damilola, let's assume okay, Emilia, let's assume Emilia is, okay, Emilia is an Igbo girl, right? And Damilola
Yeah.
is what?
Yoruba.
Yoruba guy. So, Emilia belongs to the group of Igbos, whilst Damilola belongs to the group of what? Yorubas. Is that making sense? That is what set membership is about. Whether someone is in a particular group or not in a group. So who can tell us what the keywords here would be? I have used the keywords.
Group.
No.
In.
In and not in. So these are the words used for that kind of thing. For this particular one, let me see if I can. Let me just do something quickly and see if I can. Databases. Let me see if I can get one that we can use here. Otherwise, I'll have to fall on, and my database is, this thing is not working. I don't know why. I hope it works though. It worked the last time, so I don't know why it's not working now. Okay, let's see sales. Let's see territory. Sales territory may work. Let me find out everything in sales territory, and then we will see what we will do, okay? Select all from sales territory. Sales territory. Let's see. Sales territory. Da, 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 da. Okay, that is too restricted. That's just the territory table. Let me use another table. Salesperson. Sales. Can I have salesperson? Is there salesperson? Employee sales territory. Let me see employee sales territory. Team employee. Employee sales territory. Let me see that one. So it's only in keys. Okay, that's not gonna work. Department group. Department group. Department group. Let's see if that will work. It's not working either. Okay, who is recording? Who is So this is what I was looking for. I wanted the these here to appear, okay? But they were not, so I have it. I can now use this. I can now use that. Let me see what I have here. Select all. Let me select this one and see if I can have that. From marital status. So we can all agree that there will be a group called marital status, right? Where some people could be married, unmarried, separated, divorced, and that kind of thing. Right? So we have this. Okay. So what can we do? When we have this group, we can, for example, say that, okay, select only those who are married. Now, here we have all members in the group, right? Everybody in any group at all. In any group, it doesn't matter what the group is. But at this point, we just want those who are married. We just want those who are married. So we've selected the whole group. So we use the where clause. Where marital status in married. And this may be in a bracket. Let's put it in a bracket to see if that is going to work. Yeah. So here we have only those who are married. And so in much the same way, we can do the converse. That is the opposite. What would the opposite be? We said it is either in or not in, right? either in or not in. So if we were to do not in, it will throw up all the other ones. So anybody who does not belong to this group of married people will not be shown. And you see, that is what we have here. Right? In much the same way, we can have a compound set. A compound set. So if we want to, for example, select those who are married and at the same time are, for example, cohabiting. So they are both married and cohabiting. That is what we have. Oh, I think I've seen something. We can actually use something in AdventureWorks. Let's try that. We've got something.
Excuse me.
I just got something we can use in AdventureWorks. Select. So you can all write this one. You can all try this one out. From Team Geography. Where states province name in Ontario. Can anyone tell us why we have this in inverted in quotation marks? Why is it we have this in quotation marks? We discussed that last week. That when you want to introduce strings, this is a string. When you want to introduce a string, it has to be in quotation marks, okay? So we want to select everything from this table where the state province name is Ontario. And you see that the state province is Ontario here. If we were just to do this one, that would give us everything. We have South Wales. We actually have 655 rules of data. A lot, right? But if we were to do this, all of this.
Shall we attempt that using Adventure, yeah?
Yeah, attempt it using Adventure.
Okay.
It gives us only 26 rows of data.
Select all from the geography. Geography. Province name.
Now let's do the compound search for this one. Ontario. And any other states? You saw a number of states a while ago. Let me write it again so you see. Let's execute it again so you see. We have New South Wales. We have British Columbia. We have Quebec. We have Hamburg. A number of, we have England, California. Somebody to select one more. Somebody to select one more. Okay, let me use New South Wales. If we execute this, that should give us some more. You can see it would only contain New South Wales and Ontario. So it depends on the field that you choose. If we, for example, had chosen the country region name, we can restrict it on that also. For whichever country that we want to use, we can restrict it on. We can restrict it on sales territory key. We can restrict on country region code. We can restrict on city. The options are numerous.
How did I go wrong now? Select from dim geography. Your state, province name, Ontario. How did I go wrong?
Who is speaking?
I'm getting error reports. So I'm cross-checking what I did.
Share your screen. Let's see.
I don't know how I got it wrong here. When I selected this, I got it right.
Emilia, wait. Just wait. Where is the error, first of all? Where did you see the error very first time?
Pardon?
Where did you see the error very first time? Or where does the error appear for the very first time? Exactly. So now run it again.
Oh. Yeah, it's sorted now. Thank you.
Don't worry, you will get a hang of it soon, okay? If you don't make mistakes, you will not learn.
It's really frustrating now.
No, it's not frustrating. I mean, you don't know how everybody went through that, though. You think I'm me teaching you now? You think I don't make mistakes? I make mistakes, so. The only thing is, when you've made a mistake, you should know how to troubleshoot. You get the point. That's the most important thing. You should know how to troubleshoot, to know where the error is. Okay, let me share now.
Thank you.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's, do we get this? Do we get this set membership?
Yes.
Okay. And do we also get the range?
Yeah.
Between and not between. So these are very important. You need to have a hang of this. You need to get these things. Let's do the next one, which is pattern match. Pattern match. So when we say a pattern match, what are we talking about? We are saying that what we are looking for should look like something. It should look like something that we have in mind or something that we know. It should follow a certain pattern. It should follow something. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
A pattern. We have a pattern and we want to follow that pattern, right? We want to follow that pattern. We want it to look like what we know or what we have. So what do you think would be the key words here?
That pattern match, is it going to be the 4.4?
Oh, yes, 4.4. Correct. Thank you.
Amelia, can you mute, please?
Oh, sorry about that.
Yep. So what is this going to be? Who can guess? Who can guess? It should be like
I'm going to say like.
or not like. It should look like or be like, or it shouldn't look like or not like, right? So that is it should look like a certain pattern that we know already. And if we are not looking for that pattern, then it shouldn't look like that pattern. Is that okay? Now, it is not easy to write a pattern in code. So we use what is called wildcards. Who has heard of wildcard before? How many of you do sports? How many of you have heard of wildcard in sports? When they say a wildcard has been introduced. Okay, nobody. Okay. Right. So a wildcard is simply a symbol or a sign that is used in denoting what you want the pattern to look like. There are two main wildcards. There is this, and there is that. So we have the percentage sign, and then we have the underscore. Wildcard this, and then underscore. These two are the wildcards. Now, let's look at with this kind of situation, we are open to a whole range of options. So we're going to look at the various instances of these wildcards. What are the various times that we can use a wildcard? Particularly, let's first of all look at this one. And let's call this 4.4.1. Now, what does this mean? We'll come to that. We'll come to the definition of all these things. What all these things mean, okay? Don't worry at all. How many of you live in the UK? Or how many of you don't live in the UK? Let me ask the question that way. Okay, let me rephrase. How many of you do not live in Nigeria? Or how many of you don't come from Nigeria? So everybody knows a city called Lagos, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's the only reason why I asked that question. Right, so let's try to make sense of what these could possibly be. Let's try to make sense of what these could possibly be. What will this be? Now, I'll give you the first one, and then you will give me the rest. Now, what this means is that we are looking for an address that has, we are saying addresses like, right? We are looking for an address that has a name starting with what? H. The rest can be anything. The first character in that address must necessarily be H. The rest can be anything. Let me put this in capital so that it makes must be H. The rest can be anything. That is what this means. Right. So given we now know what this means, what do you think the next one would mean?
We're looking for an address that ends in the character H.
Exactly. We're looking for an address that ends with the character H. The last character must be H. The rest can be anything. And what do you think the next one would be?
I'm thinking the next one will be any address in Lagos.
No. Not any address in Lagos.
It doesn't have H to start or to end.
Not any address. You have the idea, but you didn't put it right. So the next must produce a result that must contain Lagos.
Okay.
Okay, that is what these mean. So you mark the same way. Just as all of these, we can have the negatives of this, right? We can have the opposites of what we have here. 4.4, 0.5, 0.6. So not like, if I put a not in front of this, then what does this mean? The first character must not be an H. Is that making sense?
Yeah.
And this one too, if I put a not here, the same thing, the last character must not be H. And the same for this, then search must not produce a result, must not. Produce a result that contains Lagos. That contains Lagos. The search must produce a result that contains Lagos. Okay. Do we get this?
Yes.
Right. And 4.5. Instances of the underscore. So the underscore is pretty much like this one. So we'll just do a few of that. Once you understand this, you should understand what the underscore basically is also. Let me just copy something from here. Now, For visual purposes, I am going to leave a space just for visual purposes. Now, it is not, I can, if I, okay, let's finish that and then we will see. Let me finish explaining that. So here, the first character must be H, and it must be made up of how many characters all together? 5. Means the first character must be H, and there must be 5 characters all together. All together. Okay. You can put this in quotation marks as well. But like I said, this actually is to be written as that. So if I have H, I want the first character to be H, then the underscore, I want 4 other characters. 1, 2, 3, 4. But you see, when I do this, for visual purposes, you wouldn't be able to count. It's not easy to count this way, which is why I have left spaces in between. Am I making myself clear on this? Yeah? Somebody say, yeah, if you understand.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And also, if we have this other one, what does this mean? What does this mean? Somebody to tell me what this means. I'm already giving you a hint by eliminating some things. What does this mean?
It means that the last character must be K, and it must be the number of the underscore, maybe 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. It must be 7
7
character in
characters
total.
altogether.
Yes.
Okay, so that's what it means. That's what it means. Okay, so let us try this on our database. Assuming we say we want to select everything. Where do we want to select from? Let's say, let's use AdventureWorks. Let's still use AdventureWorks. Where English country region name like what are we expecting from this scenario? What are we expecting from this scenario? English, country, What's the problem? What's the issue? Okay, it's gone. Yep, what are we expecting from this scenario? Can anyone tell us?
We are querying that it must contain Canada, the English
Right,
country.
we are saying that the country name must contain, it doesn't matter what it produces for us. There must be, the results must produce the word Canada, must contain the word Canada. Do I make my, is that okay? Is that clear? It must contain the word Canada. That is what it means here. And if we execute this, let's see what we have. English, country, region, name. English, country, region, name. English, country, region, name. Right? That's the query that's what we said we should have. Canada. Forget about all the other ones. We are having the other ones simply because we've asked it to select everything. But this is where the emphasis is. English, country, regional, English, country, region, name. You would see that there will be no other thing there other than what? Other than Canada. Right. What is the use of this? Is this useful at all? This is absolutely useful. This query is super, super useful. And why do I say that? Not only is it used in querying databases, but assuming, and it is used, or rather, let me say, it could be used, and I think I do know that it is used by security services a lot. So you're looking for somebody, and credit reference agencies. You're looking for somebody, you don't really know where they are, but you have an idea, rough idea. You can run a query using the wildcard. Just input a number of parameters. And all of a sudden, boom, that's the person you are looking for. Or that's the address you are looking for. Or that is the place, the town, the city you are looking for. Right? So it has a lot of use. Let's run one more query on this one.
Sorry, can you explain that better again, please?
Okay. You see where do you live? Who just asked the question? Who asked the question?
It's Emilia.
Emilia, where do you live?
I live in England.
Where in England?
I live in East Midlands.
East Midlands. Where in East Midlands?
Nottinghamshire.
Nottinghamshire, okay. Assuming I'm looking for an Emilia. I know Emilia lives in Nottinghamshire, right? But I do not know her full address. But if I get a little bit of information, I can narrow down my search. If I'm looking for Emilia and I want to use the whole of the UK, there are millions of Emilias in the UK. Right? But I begin. First of all, you've told me that you live in the Midlands. That is one information. You say you live in Nottinghamshire. Another information. And your name is Emilia. Another information. So assuming I have a database that contains okay, let's say the census data of the UK. Census data of the UK. Or the census database. Right? And I write a query to find out about Emilia. I say select Emilia. If I have your surname, that is even perfect. Select first name, surname, or select Emilia from census database where the region that I'm looking for this person is in Nottinghamshire. Do you see where we are getting to?
Yeah.
Yeah. That is how it works.
Okay.
So, not that it is going to give you, unless you have some more information, not that this particular query would give you the exact answer. Remember when I said, if I have your surname, then it even makes it better.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so this particular query will not just give you everything, but it narrows down your search. And then you can begin writing further queries to get to the exact place or person or thing that you are looking for.
Yeah. Thank you.
Good. Let's write another one quickly. The screen is frozen for some reason. Screen frozen, screen frozen. Refresh. Is it my internet or what? I shouldn't have issue with internet. Okay, somebody, okay, it's come back. I think it's come back. Yep, it's come back. Okay, it's come back. Where state province name like now, since I'm actually writing this in a program or a database, I can't leave the spaces. I only left the spaces here for visual sake. But when I'm actually writing the query, I can't leave those spaces. Is that okay? So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's execute this and see what we're going to have. Or can someone tell us what we're going to have? What are the likely solutions we would have? The first letter must be what? Q, okay? So the first letter, state province name is, and we have 6. So the first letter is Q, and then there are 5 underscores. We have 5 underscores here. So you see here that it produces what? This result here. Does that make sense? Any questions so far? Yes, this is an interesting concept. Null. Null is quite an interesting and
Sorry, I'm a bit behind. What we have there is EQ, where state province name like
yeah,
Q.
yeah.
But when I type my Q, I'm having you know when there's error message, you have like a red sign following it.
Okay, share your screen. Let's see.
Pardon?
Share your screen.
All right. I'm not sure it's the right time. Mommy is in the class. Stop. I'm learning. Come.
Emilia,
Yes, please.
are you worried about this?
Yeah.
Okay. My suggestion to you would be worried about it only when you have finished writing what you want to write.
Okay.
So get on with it. Write what you want to write. If at the end it is still there,
Yeah.
then be worried about it.
All right.
So we are waiting for you. Just write what you want to write.
I can't see. So what I have there is the underscore.
You haven't put any underscore yet.
How many am I putting, please?
Put 5.
Yeah.
Have you finished?
Yes.
You haven't finished. Okay. Have you finished now?
Yes.
Good. So now execute that query. Why did it not execute? The only reason could be.
I'm getting the same thing too.
Select from dim geography.
You didn't select from. Did you select all? Select all from dim geography.
We selected from state province name. You selected from English country region.
Yeah, you are selecting from English country region. There's nothing there like that. You've confused the system.
Sorry, say that again.
The selection is from state province name. State province name. Now run that.
Oh, Augusta, thank you so much. Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah, can I stop sharing?
Yes, stop sharing, please. Let me share my screen again. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so null is quite an interesting concept. Who understands what null is? What is the meaning of null?
Zero or empty?
I like your answers. Any contrary opinion?
Unknown.
I like that answer too. I think I've actually given you the answer to this before. I like all the answers. But the first person who spoke, I'm not a fan. I like your answers, but I'm not a fan of your answers. And I would explain why. The concept of null, like I said, is interesting, it's intriguing, and it can also be very confusing. So you see, for example, this space here. What is here? You see where my cursor is?
Yes.
What is here? What is here?
Nothing.
Okay. Now, okay, look at this other place. What is here, where this place is?
Nothing.
It's
Nothing.
empty,
Okay,
yeah.
cool. How do I explain this to you? Right. So when we say null, null simply does not mean that there is nothing. And it doesn't mean it is zero. And it doesn't mean it is empty. Null is not empty. So null is not like this. It's not a space like this. Null isn't this. I thought, because I only use this because I saw this arrow here, and I thought there would be options underneath to select from. That's why I went here. But what null actually means is that we do not know what is there. We don't know. The space is there, but it doesn't mean that it is empty. There is something there. The name, the purpose, and the attribute of which we don't know. That is why we use null, or that is when we use null. This would only become clearer if you really go into doing programming. Then you would actually see, or even, how many of you do Power BI here? How many of you do okay, you do Power BI, don't you?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, you would probably see it when you are doing your transformations in Power BI. You would see a clear difference where there's a blank when you are doing the transformation, how blanks transform and how nulls transform. You would see a clear difference between those two things. So let that be a matter for another day. So let us, for example, say that we have this. Select. Let me see if I can choose something from here. Okay, so let's say I use this table. I want customer key, first name, middle name. From which table? Which table is that from? Which table? From dim employee. From dim employee. So select. Let's say customer name. Did I say customer name? Let me actually run that query so that I get the correct select all. Let me first of all run all of this and then let's see. Oh, we even have nulls here. Oh, that's interesting. That's quite interesting. Let's see if we have any other nulls anywhere. Middle name has nulls. Middle name has nulls. Okay, end date has nulls. End date has nulls. Okay, that's interesting. Right, so assuming we want to work with this, right? We say select all from employees or select, let's just take a few. If you select first name is last name, last name. Let me add title. Select title. First name, last name. From dim employee, where middle name. Now let's look at the case where somebody said blank. So this, for example, shows a blank space, okay? So there's nothing in here, right? If null was blank, what would happen? This is a blank space, okay? There's nothing in there, is there? There's nothing in that space. Is that right? Let's see if this would work. It only throws up the three. It doesn't select anything. It just gives a title, first name, and that's all because it's selected where middle name is blank, where middle name is null. Assuming that null was equal to blank. Now, when we did this, did we see cases where middle name had null when we did this?
Yes.
When we did select all from dim employee, we saw cases where middle name was null. Is that not so?
True.
Yeah. If you are in doubt, let's write that query again. Middle name. We see middle name is null. It shows. So if null was equal to blank, this query here should provide these names we have. Okay? But when we run this query, what happens? It doesn't give us nothing. Doesn't give us anything because null and blank are not the same thing. However, if we decide now to write this properly, and we say that, in fact, even this is still not going to work. I've let the cat out of the bag. Even this probably, okay, let me use the word probably. Even this may not work. Why? We cannot say that something is equal to null when we do not know what that something is. Is that making sense?
Yes.
We cannot say that something is equal to null when we do not know what null is. Null is unknown. So how can you equate something that you know or something that you think you know to null when you don't know what null is? So this also is not going to work. What would work? What would work is if we write this properly and we say is null, where middle name is null. Let's see if that would work. Does that work?
Yeah.
That works. That works. So let me just put here, above will not work. Because of the usage of null. How do you spell because? is it C-A-U?
Yes.
This will not work because of how null has been used here, or how the blank has been used, how blank has been used. Usage of blank to represent null. Much the same way
Of the usage blank.
because of the usage
Did
of.
did you let that like that on purpose? Is that the language? Above
Which
will
one?
not work because
Above will not work because of the usage
is the off I'm looking for.
of blank
Usage of yeah.
to represent null. Any questions so far?
No.
In much the same way, we can do all of this and we say is not null. Is not null. So to use null, it has to be is null or is not null, which is what we did. I wrote is null. No, is null, is not null. Right? Is null and is not null. So the is and is not must be clearly stated. Otherwise, it will not work. Okay? So these are the people with middle name where there is no null, okay? Any questions so far?
No?
Very good. Any questions? No questions? No questions.
The known condition. Can you go up? Let me see your 4.6 again, how you started it. Yeah. Okay.
If there are no questions, then we can bring this to a close. Maybe next week I'll try to give you an assignment.
All right.
Okay. So have a very good night and a lovely weekend.
Thank you, Godwin.
You are most welcome.
Thanks, Godwin.
Thank you.